Welcome back to Rough Diamond Recipes. Today's recipe is easy tomato soup. As normal, a full list of ingredients can be found in the description box below. While making this video, my wife told me there's nothing she likes better than coming home on a wet winter's evening to a bowl of piping hot tomato soup. Now she might have something there, but I told her I'd rather come home with her wearing a negligee pouring me a beer. And being the considerate and caring person I am, I told her she didn't have to bother with the negligee if she was pushed for time. Okay, the first thing you do to make this soup is in a suitably sized saucepan, melt the butter and add the onions, carrots and garlic and fry off for a minute or two. When the carrots are just starting to soften, it's time to add in the tomatoes. You of course could skin and de-seed the tomatoes before doing this, but as I've said before, life's just too short. Next you add the salt and pepper to taste, followed by the sugar. The sugar helps balance out the acidity of the tomatoes. Next thing you do is add enough stock just to cover the tomatoes. Bring up to the simmer and allow to cook for 10 minutes. And then when the 10 minutes are up, transfer the tomatoes into a blender and blend well. If you think the soup is a bit thick at this stage, just add an extra bit of stock. The next thing you do is pass the tomato soup through a sieve. This is not strictly necessary, but it does make for a nice textured soup. At this stage, if you think the soup is a bit too thick, add a bit more stock. Then when this is done, bring the soup back up to temperature, take one last test for seasoning and serve. You of course could mix in a bit of double cream at this stage, but my wife says the soup doesn't need it. And I'm not going to contradict her, because I live in hope about the alternative homecoming I talked of earlier. We do hope you enjoyed this recipe. Feel free to subscribe, share and like, and hopefully we'll see you soon again in the next one. Bye for now.